Well, hello everyone. Happy hello. I should have known what I wanted to say here. This is Alicia from the Let's Get Loud podcast with JNA. It is an A episode today, just me in my office on day 2 of my hangover from my trip to Ottawa. So I just thought I would come at you guys and chat a little bit about my trip, the scale after my trip, and just a little bit of an Alicia catch up. Okay, I even brought my little folder so that I could remember what happened. Okay, so hi everyone. I don't know if you guys are fully updated on every aspect of my life, but I just got back from a 3-day trip to Ottawa. It was actually only 2 sleeps, so it was such a quick trip. So every second year, Beauty Counter spends a couple days on the Hill at Parliament, advocating, lobbying, meeting MPs to get our issues and concerns brought, hopefully, into Parliament. So why we do it every second year is we do a year Ottawa, and then the next year we do DC. So this was my first time doing this and having this experience with Beauty Counter. And it was so incredibly, I just learned so much. So first of all, I'm sure I'm not alone here, but I just didn't really know exactly how laws get changed. And what are the MPs really doing in their little offices and in that room, the room is called, but they sit in it. And it's all very official. And there's one side is liberal, the other side is conservative, and they're just heckling each other, kind of. It's so interesting. So we were trained, we arrived in Ottawa and we were trained for a couple hours in basically how to speak to the MPs, how to get the most impact out of your meeting. So we had been working with a company that reached out to MPs and senators and tried to get meetings with us, because the MPs might say, no, I'm busy. So they reached out and we tried to get meetings with them to bring to light our issues. So that's what Beauty Counter hired a group to do that for us. And then we went in and we were working on basically 3 things. This is something I really think that not a lot of people actually even realize, but we are so unprotected into what is the ingredients that are actually in our products. The system is a little bit broken. First of all, it takes so much to get a law passed. Second of all, we're just so behind the times with the science. The law is just behind. The science is there. The law is behind. And part of the reason it was explained to me that the law is so behind, it's that it kind of falls into 2 different categories. So I think there's a health minister, and then there's also environmental. And so it's almost like them deciding who's actually in charge of this issue. So it kind of goes back and forth, and no one seems to be really grasping it. Now, there was a vote, they were voting to amend CEPA, which is the Canadian Environmental blah, blah, blah Act. Something they've been working on for a really long time. And unfortunately, they didn't vote while we were there. They were supposed to. Anyway, obviously, there's still a ton to learn, but basically, I'm going to give you guys my little spiel that we gave all the MPs. So it was quite nerve-wracking. It was quite official. Everyone was super kind to us, but you have to go all around Parliament. There's not just one building. There was tons of different buildings. And we went right into their office or a conference room, and we just explained to them who Beauty Counter is, and especially from a Canadian perspective. So we talked about that there's 400 brand advocates, 4,000, Canadian brand advocates. And we have about 200,000 Canadian customers. So we're just kind of wanting to show them that there are customers, there are people in Canada that are willing to pay money for products that are clean, that are responsibly sourced. What I think is so incredible about Beauty Counter is that not only are we asking for change, but we're actually doing the change. So right now in Canada, there's 600 ingredients that are not allowed in your products, and Beauty Counter has taken that list above and beyond, and we have 2,800 ingredients that we will not allow in our products. And so we are a for-profit company that is proving that you can be responsible with your ingredients and make money while doing it. Because often the implication of making a change like this, something that's positive for the environment and people's health, might be impacting business. And we're showing that both can coexist. So anyways, we basically, some of these people didn't even know about the law, what the rules were, no one knew about Beautycounter. So we honestly are just Beautycounter. So even though we are a for-profit company, the whole mission is for when we go to Ottawa is just to advocate to get cleaner products in the hands of everyone. And we truly believe that if we fight it, then the other companies will follow. So we just prove that safer products can be made without hindering the industry's ability to deliver on consumer expectations and to fuel the economy. So we basically ask for three things. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to go quick here and then we'll get to the good stuff. But I had a lot of people that were like, explain to us what you're doing in Ottawa. Basically what happens is when you bring the issue to your MP, you basically need someone that's going to almost like champion for you, fight for you, someone that believes in this, the potential change. So we were looking for that person. We were looking for someone that was like, okay, yes, let's take this further. So basically product labeling. So we, want there to be a full list of everything that's in your products. That doesn't seem unreasonable. And even another MP brought up to us, he said, well, it's really hard because you need packaging in French and in English, and there's only so much space on the bottle, but Beautycounter is doing that. So again, we prove that it is actually possible. We ask that we close the fragrance loophole. So this is something, you guys, that you can look at your products at home. If you look at the body wash in your shower and you turn it around and you see the word fragrance, basically that's like a trade secret. That's how companies can hide products, hide ingredients, hide potentially harmful chemicals in your products that you are putting on your skin every single day and not having to disclose what's actually in it because they just say fragrance. So we want to close that loophole and to require that everyone lists exactly what's in their fragrance. And the last thing is there's a confidentiality clause. So basically, I don't know if the clause is the right word. I just made that up, sounded official, right? Basically, a CEO of a company can say, actually, no, we can't tell you what's in our products because of confidentiality. But that is just BS. That is them hiding behind something. The secret in products isn't necessarily just what's in them. It's the amount that's in them and, you know, how they're created in the lab. So that's where the secret is. So you can still tell a consumer exactly what they're putting on the cream that goes on their skin without that doesn't necessarily interfere with or tell the competitor exactly what's in it. And they're going to all of a sudden have the exact same cream as you. So basically we want to work on those three things. And that's what we asked. We asked every single MPs. There was 30 of us that went, and we were broken up into 7 groups. So cool. My group had the CEO in it. Like, how incredibly powerful that the CEO of our company came with us, rode the bus, slept around hill all day, sat in on those meetings, asked for us to speak, and he would just speak if it was kind of something more like businessy that he needed to be a part of. It was such a cool experience, and it just shows you that they're putting their money where their mouth is, that it's not just about saying the things, it's also about doing the things. And it was just a really powerful moment for me. And, you know, I truly believe that there are so many consumers that are completely unaware about what they're putting on their bodies. I also was one of those people. I assumed that Canadian laws would be protecting me. I really did. I had a moment with Piper, actually. She has really sensitive skin, and I just put sunscreen on her. Sunscreen has got to be one of the worst. And most of us use sunscreen. Anyways, I put sunscreen on her and she had almost like a chemical burn all over her body. Her face pooped up. Talk about mom guilt. And I was almost like, I was mad. I was frustrated with myself that I didn't educate myself enough to know that some sunscreen is potentially harmful. And I was upset with the laws, and I was upset with companies that are prioritizing profit over the health of Canadians. And I really, truly believe that both are possible. And it's just about upping the standards. And if everyone has this expectation, then we're gonna get closer and better results. And if you guys are ever curious about your products, I love EWG. It's a third-party website, so it's nothing to do with Beauty Counter. It's just Google EWG, and you can look up your products, and they rate them from 0 to 10 on the hazard scale, and you can see where your products lie. So your body wash or your current sunscreen, and it'll give you an idea of what you're putting on your body. Okay, so that was what I was doing in Ottawa. And now let's get to the fun stuff. So we arrived, our flight was really early. We arrived at like 9 a.m. It was so nice, had a direct flight, got to Ottawa, had mimosas, and had some time with friends, a couple drinks and some snacks. And then we went and did our training. We actually had it at the Ottawa Art Gallery, which was really cool, really beautiful. We also had our meal there. It was really nice. And then the next day we were up really early, full day on the Hill. I had 3 meetings with MPs, and that was amazing. And then they bussed us to a really nice restaurant for dinner. And so where the fun all happened is, so I'll tell you guys how I lost my shoes. Okay. So because if you follow me on Instagram, you're like, why? Basically what happened, you guys, is I woke up and I had to get my life together, and I had to get on an airplane, and I did not have sneakers. So what happened is someone in my group was pregnant, and her feet were really hurting her. And she'd brought 2 different pairs of shoes, but her feet were so swollen, she couldn't even fit in either pair. She was a size smaller than me. So I was like, oh, my sneakers will fit you. So I gave her my sneakers. She put them on. And then apparently at dinner, she told me that they were behind the desk at the hotel. Well, I don't remember that conversation because there was a few dirty martinis, a few glasses of Prosecco. And I thought that they were on the Hill. I thought they had gone left at the Hill, so I didn't ask. Anyways, so that's how I lost my sneakers. So I wake up in my hotel. It's 6:15 a.m. I'm like, oh shit, why is it light out? I didn't set my alarm. What time am I supposed to be? Where am I supposed to be? How am I getting there? My suitcase is not packed. I woke up completely naked with my earrings on and my makeup on, and in a bed of Pringles. I had eaten Pringles before bed, apparently. Anyway, got my life together, got on the airplane, got home, somehow managed to get home. I'm on day 2 of my hangover right now. So I just want to talk a little bit about the scale. So as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, I'm on a weight loss journey right now, which is so exciting. I think it's one of the first times that I'm like, there's no shame, there's no pressure. It's just like fun. Let's do this. Let's lose weight. And so I'm still kind of processing how I showed up while I was away, and if I am proud or not, because it's almost like I want to say that I'm proud of how I showed up, but then the scale almost tells me otherwise. And I don't want to indicate my success based on the scale. Because if I had the exact same actions and I came home and the scale was up only a little bit, I would be like, oh, I'm so proud of how I showed up. And I really tried to think about like individually, each like individual situation. You know, I want to say I didn't eat that much, but I mean, it wasn't like there wasn't excess portions. I was never super full. But there was for sure certain situations that I could have found a way to consume less calories. So here's the part that I'm getting to. And this is the power, you guys, of the 20 and 20. So if you don't know what that is, it's a 20-minute for 20-day mindset method, basically. And it's a strategy to help you stay connected to who you said you wanted to be. And you just spend 20 minutes a day setting your intentions for the day, reflecting, and taking in content. So I guess, and basically what this tool has done for me is just upped my reflection. And I'm on my second round of 20 and 20. I lost like 5 pounds the first 20 days, which is incredible. Super grateful, feeling so much better in my skin. You know, when I come home from this trip and I'm up on the scale, like a lot. Now I know that day 1 is just, most of it's water weight. It's extra carbs, extra sodium. I just need to, you know, get drinking my water, rehydrate my body, move my body today, eat vegetables today. And my stomach still, I do not feel at my best today still. And most of that, the weight that I put on over the trip will come off. I honestly haven't decided yet if I'm proud or not. I'll tell you what I did. I didn't do. I didn't stay connected very well to my intentions of overall weight loss while I was away. And I think in my head, I was just like, well, it's really is only 3 days. Like it's 3 days. And I was just really wanting to be present and in the moment of enjoying the experience. Honestly, it's like I just needed that little break of being so intentional all the time about what I'm putting in my body. But what I need to ask myself, and I think I'm going to need some perspective on this and I'm going to need some time, is was it worth it? So yeah, I took a couple days off of being intentional with what I was putting in my body, and not that I went crazy, but certainly there was a lot of alcohol that went in my body. But honestly, after a couple days later, I need to say to myself, was it worth it? Was the break from staying intentional worth the up on the scale? Because at the end of the day, I am on a journey to create weight loss for myself. And if a 3-day trip like that is going to take me a couple weeks to recover from on the scale, maybe it's not worth it to me. So I'm honestly, I didn't fail. I didn't do anything bad. I'm not going to regret anything. I'm going to just take this as a learning experience. And the next trip that I go on, and while on a weight loss journey, I'm going to say to myself, is disconnecting from your intention of weight loss worth it to you? And only I need some time to have perspective on that. So, and then I really need to ask myself, why did I feel, okay, full honesty, guys, I'm going to wrap this up here. I have crushed my abundance mindset when it comes to food. I have such an incredible abundance mindset when it comes to food, in the sense that when I'm around food, I don't feel the need to eat way past hunger. I don't binge eat anymore. Like if I just look at the food that I put in my body over the last 3 days, not my regular, but like literally no big deal, nothing in excess, never felt super stuffed. Okay. We had a buffet. I went once, I had one plate, great, moving on. I'm really still struggling with my abundance mindset around alcohol. And I don't know if I want to work on it. It happens so infrequent just on these trips. I'm telling you guys, all you can drink Prosecco just hits different than Prosecco. And you go up to the bar and they're like, can I make you a drink? I'm like, sure. Yes, please, sir. And open bar just gets me. So imagine it's like buffet, a free buffet. And if you're struggling with your relationship with food, a free buffet, you're like, oof, that's difficult for me to be reasonable. Well, that's where I'm at with alcohol. When it's free alcohol, I struggle with my abundance mindset. And again, this is for me to reflect on. This is for me to decide if this is something that I want to work on. This is for me to choose if I want to show up differently, or maybe these trips are just so infrequent that I don't need to work on them. It's kind of like, when people say, oh, going out to eat is so hard for me. And then I say, well, how often do you go to eat to a restaurant? Once a month or once every few months. And it's like, well, maybe you don't need to work on that because it's so infrequent. But if it's someone that's trying to create weight loss for themselves and they go to eat 2 to 3 times a week, then for sure that person, let's work on this. So I'm in that situation so infrequently that I don't know if it's like really worth the mental energy that it would require to create an abundance mindset with alcohol when it's free, honestly. And as you guys are listening, maybe you're like, oh my gosh, an open bar, that's like my dream come true. Maybe there's people who've never had that opportunity in their whole life. And so this is just me, honestly, really just thinking about that trip, connecting it to my weight loss journey. I do think that if by the end of this 20 days, I do not create weight loss, me looking back on those 3 days, I will be upset with myself if I disconnected so much during those 3 days that I did not create weight loss for myself. And I also know that I could have enjoyed my experience just as much. and been more present and in the moment without as much alcohol. And that's a me thing. That's something that I need to explore and figure out. But this is just me reflecting with you guys, being vulnerable with you guys, being honest with you guys. And I'm going to keep you posted. So by the time I do my next podcast, my next solo podcast, I will have finished my second round of 20 and 20. And I will let you guys know what my new goals are for the next set of 20 and 20 and how I intend to show up. And if I've created weight loss for myself again. And if not, what I'm going to tweak and adjust to make sure that happens, because I do want that. I want to feel more comfortable in my skin, and I deserve that. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening. So if you live in New Brunswick, we are going on tour starting tomorrow. We are in Buktush tomorrow, and then we're going to be in Nequac, Trackety, Bathurst, and Fredericton all next week. So check out our link tree. I'll put the link here in this podcast in the show notes. You can check it out. Come see us. We're just going to be going around from city to city, spending some time with you guys, answering questions, doing a little presentation about what your weight loss is all about and how we're going to help you lose weight this summer, because our 4-month summer promo is on right now and you can purchase that anytime in May. But after May, it is all gone. So the 4-month promo is what we are promoting in our tour. So if you're interested in that, again, the link I will put in the show notes. Thank you guys for listening. Have an amazing day. Let's hope tomorrow I am not still hungover.